This broadcast is brought to you by Colby Brooks with Century 21 Right Pace Real Estate and buyfrombrooks.com. Let Colby Brooks handle all of your real estate needs. The numbers continue to rise across the globe, but in Northeast Arkansas and in Arkansas in general, we saw a little bit of good news today. Because even though there are more confirmed cases in Arkansas than ever, the number that will always go up, there are actually less active patients at this point in the day than there were this morning, according to the reported numbers. It may be too early to celebrate yet, but we're looking for all the good news we can find, and we'll report that and the bad next on NEA Report.
Stan Morris reporting.
Thanks for joining us on NEA Report. I'm Stan Morris. Let's catch you up to date on COVID-19 across Arkansas for today, April 16th, 2020. It's a Thursday, where 1,620 cases in Arkansas have been reported as of the latest update from the Arkansas governor at his 1:30 press conference. 548 Arkansans have recovered, meaning the active patients number is at 1,035. That's the number of Arkansans actively right now that have tested positive for and have COVID-19. Worthwhile to note, because that number, active patients, fell today. This morning, we began the day at 1,056 active patients. Today at noon, or at 1:30 to be exact, down to about 1,035. Is that a good bit of news? Well, it's not bad news. I'll tell you that, and we're looking for all the good news we can find. There was some bad news to report, however. 37 have died in Arkansas from this. That's 4 new deaths that have taken place, and we believe at least a few of those are in Northeast Arkansas, which we'll talk about here in a moment. This is, of course, out of 22,675 overall who've been tested for the coronavirus in Arkansas. Let's talk about the county-by-county numbers first up, because we know that's why a lot of you are here. In Craighead County, up to 40 positives, according to the latest from the Department of Health, with 19 recoveries and 385 negative tests performed so far. Of course, that's 1 new positive case reported today. In Greene County, 6 positive, 3 recoveries. Numbers that have not changed too much over the past few days. Some more negative tests being reported there, but not a whole lot more. In Poinsett County, 9 positives, 4 recoveries, 41 negative. Randolph County up to 9 positive with 7 recoveries, an additional recovery there, and 165 negative. In Clay County, 1 positive, 0 recoveries, 70 negative tests, rather. In Lawrence County, 12 positive, 0 recoveries, 1 death, and 110 negative tests. That's the latest. In Sharp County, once again, numbers not changing a whole lot today. They haven't really changed much over the past several weeks, to be honest. In Mississippi County, 8 positive, 6 recoveries, 52 negative. In Crittenden County, 122 positive, quite a few. We're also seeing new deaths reported in Crittenden County as well. They're up to 4. That's 2 more than they had previously had reported. So that possibly, I guess, would indicate that at least some of the new deaths that were reported today were in Northeast Arkansas, specifically in Crittenden County, next door to Shelby County, where they've had a major outbreak. We've talked about that a few times. 30 recoveries in Crittenden County, 642 negative tests being performed so far. Obviously, quite a few more negative tests in Crittenden County than in any other county in Northeast Arkansas. But there are quite a few tests in some other counties too. And some of them, there are barely any, like in Jackson County and Fulton County. 1 test positive in Jackson, Fulton's still at 0, and neither of them have had a lot of tests, right? So it's hardly representative. Independence County at 6 positives still. White County, 28. Cleburne County at 70. Of course, they've had a lot of testing too, but they had an outbreak over there with the church incident that took place. Izard County at 2 cases as well. The latest numbers in the United States, 648,788 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 30,920 deaths attributed to this so far. 47,763 have recovered so far, according to the numbers. And across the globe, 2.1 million, 2,113,226 confirmed cases so far, 140,371 deaths, and 537,475 have recovered. Those numbers coming from Johns Hopkins University as of the latest check. Our friend Dr. Pat Carroll in Pocahontas has been helping us keep track of new COVID-19 cases and tests run both by date. We changed that up a little bit over the past several days because we're trying to have a better idea of when the new numbers are added, how many overall tests were performed that day too. In other words, if it skews the data because we had a ton of tests processed, we want to know. That way when we see the increase in active cases, we're not all panicking. Not that we really should be panicking anyway, but it is a situation causing concern, of course. And so what we've learned looking at this data is of note because we saw yesterday's numbers up to 101 new cases in Arkansas. You can see the amount of testing performed yesterday was about on par with where it has been over the past, well, since April 10th, which is when we started measuring active tests run each date for accuracy. That's as far back as we can go. But the day before yesterday, a lot of folks were saying, hey, only 23 new cases today. Doesn't that mean maybe that outside of what we saw on Tuesday, that Arkansas could be dropping? It's worth noting that there were barely any tests processed compared to previous and subsequent days. Of course, the day before yesterday when we're talking about, thus pointing out that may not have been representative of the good that we were hoping to see out of that. But that being the case, look at those numbers over the weekend, right? The numbers that were really small when we saw 46, at least on the graph. I believe that was on Saturday, 72, I think, on Sunday, then 135 coming out on that Monday. Well, those numbers of tests performed over the weekend were substantial. Actually, on one day, more than they were on the Monday, meaning it could be a bit of a drop, perhaps. It's still too early to say, of course, and we shouldn't be reacting to information and as far as our judgments go about opening society back up to data that's this early along. But as we mentioned, we're trying to find good signs. One of those signs that we have found for certain is going to be on this graph. It won't show up till tomorrow after Dr. Carroll makes it, but this is the number of active COVID-19 cases in Arkansas. Of course, cumulative is always going to go up. It will never go down. But active cases is a bit of a different story because people can recover, or worse, I guess they can expire too. We hope that doesn't happen. But you can see the number of active cases has sort of leveled off a little bit, especially compared to the total cumulative cases. However, as we talked about today, when the numbers are released and when Dr. Carroll does this graph and releases it later tonight, and we'll update the website with it, you're going to see active cases in at least as far as today has gone so far. It may change at the end of today, but as of right now in the day, active cases fell from 1,056 this morning to 1,035 as of right now. So the first drop in active COVID-19 cases for Arkansas can be reported today. And that's good news everybody wants to hear. Unfortunately, it was not good news this morning as unemployment numbers were announced with over 5 million new jobless claims announced since this whole thing started. Over 22 million jobless claims so far. That's incredible. The estimates from some economists are saying we could have 16% unemployment by July. That's worse than any point during the Great Depression. President Trump is expected to release guidelines on reopening the economy soon, perhaps as soon as later today. The Arkansas governor was scheduled for a press conference with President Trump and had to end his press conference a little bit early because of that. The president said some states can probably open up before May 1st. Others may have longer waits. Facebook is beginning to alert users about coronavirus misinformation. Look, there's a lot of people online that have a fraction of the medical training that the major experts behind this in our society have, and they think that they're informed about it. So a lot of pseudo experts are saying it's not as bad, and it's, they're saying a lot of stuff. 5G. Lord, I can't even bring myself to repeat that. Well, I just want to mention that Facebook is going to be doing some alerts to people saying that you may have shared misinformation or stuff you've liked or reacted to is wrong. They're not going to highlight it, at least according to what they've announced, specifically. So it's not going to, in other words, say, you posted wrong info here on this date. It's just going to tell you may have clicked or interacted with something that's wrong, and it will link to the World Health Organization's website, which then gives you basically a rundown of the stuff that you should know is true or not true. Notably, I think the first thing on the website is 5G does not cause the coronavirus to transmit. COVID-19 is not carried on 5G waves. I can't even say it accurately, right? It just sounds so crazy to me. But anyway, who knows? Maybe we're wrong. And so we want to bring that to you too. Facebook trying to keep people informed about this, and we're doing our best as well. As we said, we're trying to keep you informed here on NEA Report. One of the ways we're doing that is we've created a new coronavirus resource page. The idea is you can go to neareport.com and right next to at the menu at top, you see coronavirus. Pretty simple. You click on that and it's going to take you to this page. You see all of the main counties from Northeast Arkansas listed right here. And if you don't see your county there, you can email me and I will make a page and send it to you specifically because I want people to stay informed about this. But when you click on your county or when you land on the page itself, you're going to find some new information. One of these new graphs that we've been talking about here lately on NEA Report shows you exactly by county where things are at and how bad they're at and if they're getting worse or better. This overall shows the United States and how many new confirmed cases we have, which by the day you can see it's still a large number, but it's not going higher each day, which is at least a bit of good news. When you click on some of the pages themselves, like let's say for instance Craighead County's page, it will show you the number of confirmed cases in the county, and then it will show you other numbers too, right? Such as how many confirmed cases are there per 100,000, how many fatalities are there per 100,000. Well, the latest numbers for Craighead show 40 confirmed cases as of the latest update this afternoon. That's 36.25 per 100,000. Fatalities, it shows 1, which is 0.91 per 100,000. This is really a bar graph that shows you how many new cases have showed up. And yesterday, I should say, over the past 24 hours, we saw a large number of new cases, more than that back on the 13th. But it gives you a better idea of where things are then compared to the other parts of the world, because as you can see, Craighead County is lower per 100,000 than Arkansas overall in both fatalities and confirmed cases. You can see fatalities 1.13 per 100,000, 52.99 cases per 100,000 in Arkansas, right? So there's a bit of news that you can take a look at. But if you look at other counties too, let's say, for instance, Cleburne County, where things have been much worse. Take a look at the numbers there. 280.91 per 100,000. Because they have a population that's a fourth the size of Craighead County, and they also have about twice, a little less than that, the number of cases. 4 fatalities there, making the number, according to this anyway, making the number 16.05 per 100,000. Of course, you take a look at Cleburne County's numbers. They have not seen a lot of new cases lately, but they saw them all at the beginning because of the church event that happened. Now, we don't know if that means there's less testing happening now, but again, compared to Arkansas overall, Cleburne County may be the worst hit county. It's definitely one of the worst. You can see the map there showing only 3 counties in dark red: Cleburne, Crittenden, and I have no idea. One of the counties in central Arkansas. Hey, it's not northeast Arkansas. I don't keep up with it. But when I take a look at that, and I'll go over to Crittenden County too, because I want to compare those numbers. 280.91 per 100,000. Incredibly large numbers right now. Obviously, some of the worst in Arkansas showing up. And Cleburne County, and in Crittenden County too, where it's 254 per 100,000, of course, being next door to Memphis, where they have had a large outbreak over there. A lot of new cases being reported on the 13th in Crittenden County, and some over the past day, too. So this is an interesting resource. We thought that it may be very helpful for everyone trying to track the numbers in their neighborhood specifically. neareport.com/coronavirus will take you directly to this page, or you can, as we mentioned, access it by the easy-to-use menu. And just click on your county. And as we said, even if you're not in Northeast Arkansas, as long as you're somewhere in Arkansas, if you email us and you request it, we'll make a page for your county, and you can use it to keep your friends and family and locals informed, or we'll just link it up so you can know what's going on at neareport.com. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today. It means an awful lot to us that you take a few minutes of your day to spend it with us and give us the privilege of trying to keep you informed. So if you think we did an okay enough job, how about a like or a share right now? That would really help the page out a ton, and we do need your support more than ever. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, and become a supporter for only 99 cents a month, and you get access to exclusive stuff, including a show tomorrow night where 2, not 1, but 2 former TV personalities are going to come on the show live and talk to us about, well, let's just be blunt, how they ended up getting married together after their time together at KAIT. Now, that's a story you don't want to miss. That's exclusively for supporters, and it's a much more fun-themed show, so if you're looking for something fun to to smile about or watch every Friday night, 7 p.m. Our supporters get that. Stan Morris reporting in Jonesboro, and you're up to date from NEA Report. Hope you have a good evening. We'll keep you up to date on NEAReport.com. Until then, we'll see you soon.